Namaskar, welcome to Fibonacci Cycles by Nitin Bhandari. So, after a long time, this is update especially for Mercury retrograde. तो ये जो study है, this is based on the Mercury retrograde, what happened in the past since 1996 when Mercury turns retrograde and how it affects the financial markets. So, we are taking the history since 1996. Now, understand at least three times a year, Mercury goes retrograde. Three times a year, Mercury goes to retrograde for approximate 3 weeks, 21 days. And there is a lot of hue and cry about Mercury retrograde. So I put everything in the data and try to do a research and understand how the Mercury retrograde can be differently used for the financial markets. So this is the example. So since 1996, we have data and we have total 91 instances since 1996, total 91 times Mercury turned retrograde. And in 91 times, total 91 times, if we see that uh, 51 times market was up, which is 56%, and 39 times market was down, which is 42.86%. And maybe one or two instances, there may be flattish market, so that's why it is not counting. Now, further, if I dig it down and understand, so net 2% or higher move during the Mercury retrograde is 37 times, which is 40% of the time market moves 2% or higher move. Net 2% and lower move during retrograde is 24 times, and which is 26%. So then I went further down and did further research. So 0% to 3% move up and down. So 26 times out of 91 times, market was up 0% to 3% range. 0% to 3% range, 21 times it was down. 3% to 7% move up or down 16 times and 12 times. So if we take it together, it's approximate 28 times out of 90 times market has moved 3% to 7% up or down. Then four times move is more than 7%, and two times move is more than 7 to 10% downside. And 10% and above, four times each market has moved during those 21 days. Now let's see how we can understand this Mercury retrograde and how we can use to understand the market dynamics. Now, we all know that today is a meltdown across the globe, starting from US. So actually, the meltdown started on Thursday. Actually, Thursday, day before Thursday. So last week, one day Dow is down 500 points, then it went up 500 points. Then again, it started collapsing. And now all the futures are down. Now, the people who are missing here is a big thing is Jupiter and Pluto is making a Sesqui square. Sesqui square is an aspect which is 135 degrees apart. So if I see here, this is a current position, and if we look at it here, so let me magnify it so you guys can see it properly. So the planet Jupiter, it's here, 15 degrees and 11 minutes, and planet Pluto, which is here, is 0 degree and 33 minutes. So tomorrow, tomorrow late night and 7th early morning, this 135-degree aspect will be exact, which means what? It means that whatever is happening in the markets right now on the Mercury retrograde is very, very exaggerated. Why it is exaggerated? Because Jupiter is there in the sign of Mercury. and Mercury is turning retrograde in its own sign. So there are two signs which Mercury rules. One is uh, Gemini, and second is Virgo. So in the sign of Virgo, Mercury is turning retrograde, and the other sign which it rules, Jupiter is there, and Jupiter is making a sesqui square. So sesqui square is what? Sesqui square is 3 times 45 degrees. So WT Gann gave a lot of emphasis on sesqui square aspect. The 45-degree aspect is getting to get over day after day. So we can say that these exaggerated moves, the things which are beyond imagination. So exaggerated moves like, the stocks in US, they are falling like 20%, the Intel down 20-25%. The stock which are leveraged, Pluto is a debt. The things which are leveraged, the people who are in the leverage position, they are getting killed. They are getting screwed to another level because Jupiter is a planet which doesn't do small thing. It is a very big. Everything it does is huge, humongous. So this is happening for next 2 days. So to understand Mercury retrograde, I'm trying to connect the dots with the Jupiter 135-degree angle to Pluto, which is sesqui square. Now, further down, we have to understand the market. So, how it behaves. So, we see here, this is a research, proper research. So I'm not taking the today's number is, it has just started retrograde. So, apart from it, if I see it from the day this retrograde motion starts on an average, 4% market goes down. Average, this is average. Remember, this is an average of 91 times what has happened to the market. And on an average, 3.75% it goes up. Now it is an average. It is not necessary this time also it will go 4% down and 4% up. It is an average for a long time. But what happens in the end is very important to know that wherever market is making low, so right now market is falling. So whenever market is making a low, from that point, how much on an average market can rally, that we want to figure it out by this aspect, to low to how much it can go up, and from low how much it can go down. Now on an average minimum 2% market rallies from low to make a high. So today market is made a low. Maybe tomorrow also it falls, or day after also it falls. Whenever a low is there, look at your charts, understand your system. From there, we have a potential for 2 to 3% ka minimum rally for market. And if that low is very serious, and if market is really keen to stay there, so that rally can go from low to up. Sorry, here I saw a wrong column. This is a Mercury retrograde. Again, it is hitting me also. So I have to be careful what research I'm doing. So let's rephrase it. Let's do it again. So from the low point, market on an average goes up to 8%. And whatever high it has made, from there it goes down to 3%. So if I look at today's market and consider today's high, it is 1.22% already down from the today's. So again, watch for a low in next few days. From there, if your charts are supporting and your whatever system you use, they are supporting, market has a potential to rally up to 8%. This is very big. Now, here I can do a further research down that I'll take the Mercury retrograde only in the sign of Virgo, where it is going retrograde. So in the sign of Virgo, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 instances. So 10th is going, 9 instances we have. Now in those 9 instances, if I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times market was down. Uh, sorry. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, five times, four times market was down because I'm not considering the current one. So four times market was down, four times market was up. The only outlier here is that market was down in August 2011, 10%. And 1997, it was down 5.57%. So here I will do a further research. Maybe I'll try and get 1997 August and uh, August 2011. Now, this is not a coincidence that August, most of the time, August is falling during the Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Most of the cases, all cases, you see that Mercury retrograde is falling in the month of August. Now, in this month, what happens? Sun's position is from Cancer to Leo, and Leo is a bit pride sign. So there is a big fight possibility between bulls and bears at some point. It will happen and you will see. So here the crux is that market is not going to go down one way because data doesn't suggest. Only we have two outliers. So this time also, if it is a case of like 2011, then there is a big problem. So we can see that August 2011, what kind of configuration was there in the in the sky. So August 2000, let's put 2011 here. So we'll get to know what was happening there. So let's see Jupiter. Where was the Jupiter? So Jupiter was in the Taurus, and what it was doing, any outer planet. So Jupiter was making a trine with the Pluto. Now, this time it is not making a trine, it is making a sesqui square, which is a difficult aspect. Even though it was making a trine, the trine was 5 degrees apart. So it didn't get the support. But you see that why the market was falling 10%? Because Pluto was making a square, exact square with the Uranus. And Uranus doesn't like any boundaries. It doesn't respect any boundaries. Another point to note that uh, when Mercury was turning retrograde, it was making a opposition to Neptune. Neptune also rules money. So the move was definitely exaggerated and there was no support to the market from Jupiter because there was Jupiter was in the sign of Venus and Venus was in the sign of Sun. Sun was in its own sign, and historically, Sun in Leo is not as great as Sun in Cancer for the markets, for the financial markets. August month is a bit tough for the financial. So 2011 was an outlier. Now, if you see today, right now, what is happening? So we don't see such a strong negative emphasis of the stars in the sky. Though there is a challenging things that Jupiter is making a square to Saturn, but the more challenging is Jupiter is making a sesqui square to Pluto, and which is getting over in 2 weeks. So that is important to watch. But once market starts moving back up, Mars will again come in play and make a again a sesqui square. So this whole Pluto theme is getting activated, which is a debt, which is a leverage position. So you see that stars tell you way before. So you see that in the news, in the social media, in our regulator, the Indian market regulator, they have been telling people there's too much of speculation is happening. They are trying to be a trying to warn all the small traders and speculators that be careful. And the warning sign was there. And what has happened, we all know now. The market was down significantly. So coming back, let's not digress ourselves. And coming back to the what can Mercury retrograde do from here? So we have a data that upside is very limited, but downside is humongous. That is what Mercury retrograde is doing. But whenever a low is being formed from the low, the market has a potential for minimum on average rally of 2% to 13%. That's what it does. So be careful, guys. it is going to be a roller coaster ride. Definitely, it is going to be a roller coaster ride. It is not going to be a easy market from now. Now, if I see with respect to the cycles and other technical indicators, so if I pull my this chart here, and if I see what is happening to the what is happening to Nifty. So let me see, let me magnify it and adjust the here. So this cycle, which started from this point here, has moved to this high, and from here it has started coming out. Now 23,861. This is very strong point for a cycle. 38% retracement is 23,600. And these blue lines are all Jupiter lines. So one of these lines market should find a support as per financial astrology, 23,715. That should be the exact point. Why? Because these lines are 45-degree lines. So this is 360, 45, 45, 190. So next 2 days, if market goes to 23,700 and finds support there, which means the prices have attracted towards the planetary line. And this is a conversion factor. There's a one video of mine on YouTube. You can search it. Planetary price line. It was a free webinar I gave to the Isara Society in US. So there you can understand that how the convergence can happening between the planetary price lines and prices, actual prices. So watch this 23,704 in next 2 days. If prices touches there and starts moving back up, then it's a perfect time and price convergence. If doesn't happen and it starts moving back above 24,175, then also it is a good enough. Now, if you see this prices started from this low on 3rd June to 4th June to a high of 25,084 on 31st July. Now, this rally minimum retracement as healthy market corrective decline is 23.6% to 38.2%. Neutral decline is up to 50%, 23,180. And not a long-term very bullish case, it will be 22,700. We have a mother moving average at 23,200, which is our most important point for determining very long term markets. So these all things are up. Now, one more important point note, there are two big gaps here. This is the one gap here. If you see it, you magnify. So these are very strong points. So the gaps in the market tell us that how market can be behaving in coming days. So if these gaps are not filled immediately, which means there is underlying very big trouble coming in the market. So gaps tell us that whether the market is good or bad. If gaps are filled quickly, it means there is underlying strength. But gaps are not filled quickly, then there is a big trouble coming for the market. So coming back, let's wrap up with the Mercury retrograde thing. What is happening to the Mercury retrograde? So we will wait for a draw and make a low. And from the low, if our charge support that your low is in, there is a potential for in between rally for the off. So guys, that's all. Be safe. Jupiter doesn't like small things. Pluto is a dead. Be careful about your leverage projections. On this note, bye bye. Happy trading.